let that do its thing. Okay, I think we're on.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yep, I see it.
Cool. So I'll give it a couple of minutes just to let people be notified because there is that delay.
Yeah. I put silent mode on because I'm like, woo.
Cool. Yeah?
Yep, I see it.
Cool. So I'll give it a couple of minutes. Oh, so that must be mine that the sound's coming from. Delay. Yeah, I would say.
There we go.
Okay. So just while we're waiting for people to hop on, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to see it from the Zoom platform, but that's all right. Those that can make it will make it now. Okay, so first of all, for those that are hopping on, there's been a lot of newbies joining the group this month, especially with the Heal the World Summit coming up next month. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Sarah Lyons from Sarah Chakra Clearing, and I help struggling souls, starseeds, earth angels, and all of those in between who are on their awakening journey and newly awakened beings. And I just help you along through that process as a spiritual catalyst. So I'd just like to welcome you today, beautiful Renee.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm excited to be on today.
Yeah, I'm so excited to have you. It's going to be awesome.
Yes.
I love light language, even though I don't speak myself. It's magical.
Yes. Well, and the best thing about it is everybody has the ability to do it.
Awesome.
Because it basically, it's wonderful. It's a great healing, releasing of emotions, traumas, and everything. And so
Beautiful.
if people are interested, they could always be activated.
Oh, totally.
Some people will speak to them right away and they'll know what happened. So yeah, it's exciting.
Gorgeous.
Yes.
Okay, so how did you find light language? How did you first find out about it?
So it was funny. I've only been speaking it about a month.
Wow.
And so I took a cosmic channeling course, which is for some reason I was drawn to on Facebook with this whole group of people, and I've known like little bits of them. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just, I've been channeling for a while. So I was like, but let's see if I can find some new tips. And one of the mentors on the cosmic channeling course, she spoke light language during one of her sessions.
Wow.
And I was like, hold up. Like, it hit me right in the heart chakra, and I started crying, and it felt so familiar to me. Wow. And I'm tearing up as I'm saying this. Yeah. It felt really familiar to me, and then it dawned on me I knew what she was saying.
Oh,
before she even said it. And I was like, what is this? Because I've never heard of light language before. A month ago. Wow. Now, and I was just kind of like, I took it in, and every time she spoke in light language, she did some sessions, I would listen to it and just kind of feel it out. And I was really shy. I'm very shy about my abilities, and like kind of going live and doing that really put myself out there, because you had to do card readings online. You had to do, you had to go and like speak and stuff. So on that course, I actually did not speak light language, but I was speaking light language to myself. And to my partner. He was always very encouraging about it. And one of the mentors was doing an advanced development course for light language about 3 weeks ago. And I was just really drawn to it. And from there, they're like, we need to activate you. And we had a one-on-one, and I realized I didn't need activation. Wow. Because some people need the activation. Yeah. And which is basically an activation. I should probably start. There are like many forms of light language that you can speak. I can give a transmission, which is just like a message, kind of like a channeled message. And it can come from anything, anywhere where Gaia, Mother Earth, animal spirits, If you're like hiking and you see a deer, you could get light language from that deer, because it's energy. It's a form of energetic communication.
Yeah.
And it's within you. Everybody can do that. And so it's quite beautiful. And it's been around since the beginning of time. They believe Adam and Eve spoke it. And it's life force energy that's within you. So it's God, it's whatever it's God, it's consciousness, it's, Christ consciousness, it's, it's whatever you believe it to be. And basically what it does is it goes right, it's very heart-centered, and it helps, do a plethora of things. You get messages from it, you can get messages from galactic beings.
Yeah.
Everybody has a mother tongue. It's in like stages. My mother tongue is Shamanic.
Beautiful.
My higher self presents themselves to me as a shaman. And so when I journey with her as a shaman when I'm sleeping. When you think you're sleeping, but you're not.
Yeah.
And we will speak when we speak now, it's light language.
Wow.
Because I know she's trying to heal parts of me that are kind of going, that need to be released, especially coming up. So light language is important right now because as more people are awakening, people who are in this 3D consciousness need to raise up to a 4D because Mother Earth is coming into 5-dimension.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it kind of gives a gentle approach. I say gentle, but sometimes it's like, it could be like a gut punch. So, it depends on I shouldn't even use gentle, but it gives an approach that is different than, finding somebody and rehashing your trauma. It actually really clears.
Oh.
And it brings you, when you speak light language, you're actually physically, to be able to speak light language, you have to raise your vibrations up. And when you raise those vibrations up, you're in a 4D, fourth dimension. For anybody that doesn't know, 4D is fourth dimension. And what that does is it keeps your vibration holding steady for that.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So how would you recommend others raise their vibrations?
Well, there's always the way. So when we do light language, say if you or I were on a call, I would put us both in a container, and through light language, I would raise my vibration. Or if I was doing, in the course, there was 16 of us on Zoom. And to raise our vibration, we all would speak our mother tongue at the same time. And it was crazy because you could feel the vibration of it. And it was really great. So either I would do it or an activator would do it, a person who does light language transmissions, to kind of rate. And you'll feel it. It gets really hot. You feel like you're kind of going through hot flashes. You're going through menopause.
Yes. Yes.
It's super hot.
And that's what you are, an activator, a light language activator?
I am, yes. I was unsure if I was an activator.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, when I first started speaking it, especially to myself, and they're like, and sometimes you're an activator, and I was really, really, really shy about coming out to this because a lot of people listen to it and they're like, you're speaking gibberish. And I actually had to get over my own ego to really, because your ego's like, why are you speaking like that?
Yeah.
Why? Because it's something new. So the ego's like, I don't like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then when I was taking the course, I realized I'm an activator because I started speaking. You have a couple different types of light language that you do. You have the transmission, which is the message.
Yeah.
And most people can feel that. And then during the activation, you have a one-on-one or a group, and I start speaking it. And then you ask the person what their response would be. And I always tell them, and you're always told just to go with what you feel.
Yeah.
And light language is different because it doesn't come through your mind.
Wow.
It's beautiful in the way, mine usually comes through my heart chakra. I can see it, and then I see the words and it goes up into my throat chakra. and
Wow.
then out. Especially if it's, somebody grounding like my shaman, tongue language or Gaia,
Mm,
or, anything which is like earthbound, like water spirits, undines, or, earth
beautiful.
spirits. Yeah. If it's galactic, it comes from the top
Yeah.
and it comes in through the back of my neck. And it is quite, the first time that came to me, it was very intimidating because it's a lot. It is a lot. It comes in and it's a lot of pressure. Like I felt like my neck was being squeezed.
Yeah.
And it's just your vibrations are not, you have to have such a high vibration to even feel the galactics coming in sometimes. And you get used to it. Like I got dizzy. I felt like I was gonna be sick to my stomach the first time that happened. It was really wild. Now I can just tell they're coming. Like it's not, you get used to it because your vibrations raise the more you speak it.
Okay, so do you intentionally channel the light language, or do they just sort of pop in sometimes? Is it always sort of hovering around you? Or how does it?
It can, all three. Like
Okay.
I can feel it build sometimes during the day,
Yeah.
especially during high vibrational energetic times like the solar. Apparently last night I sat up in bed and spoke it.
Wow.
But while I sat up in bed and spoke it, I was on a journey and
Yeah.
I was speaking it to my shaman, to my higher self. So it's interesting. Sometimes I'll randomly wake up and start speaking it in the middle of the night and then fall back to sleep. Sometimes I'm at work and I work on patients, and that gets a little dicey. So sometimes I'll like whisper it, because if it comes through when you're around people, there's a reason that person needs to hear the message. So that's kind of, letting go of that visibility piece of that.
Yeah.
And I have gone up to I've been proud of myself. Like I've gone up to a couple people and been like, you're not going to know maybe you'll know what I'm going to say, but I need to say this to you. And they're like, okay. And I kind of like look at you like, woohoo. But the pressure just builds up and you just need to speak it.
Wow.
So I do it a lot when I'm driving.
Yeah.
It comes out. I go to a canyon by my house, which is like a 5-minute drive. And usually I'll sit by the water to meditate and it'll come in. So it comes in various times. I can tell you that if you choke down the energy, it at some point during the day, it will come out because it'll just keep building. And then the energies will kind of represent right around you and be like, you need to speak this.
That's so interesting that it works that way.
Yeah.
And it's funny, I always thought it was like the language of the star people. I didn't realize it was a universal language that comes from everywhere.
Yeah, it comes from many religions, various cultures. They said, like I said, they said Adam and Eve were one of the first to really kind of speak. I shouldn't say they definitely were. It was, what's the word I'm looking for? It was thought that they were the first to speak it. Egyptians, sometimes I'll get Isis coming through.
Yeah, wow.
Many archangels will speak like that because they can raise your vibrations and get the healings in a lot faster. I'm trying to, you pretty much, I want to say there's almost a light language for everything.
Yeah.
I mean, Mayans, Aztecs, Incans, they all spoke it. Native Americans speak it.
Wow.
Many different, there are various religious, like Christianity, some areas that they call it speaking tongues.
Yes.
Yep. So that's a variation of light language, except they call it something different.
Yes.
And I know they have some radical or fundamental groups in various, like Catholicism and, Pentecostal and, all that group that kind of isn't in that cloud of Christianity and everything. Yeah.
Pardon me.
That's
By the way, if anyone has any questions for Renee throughout this process, just pop them down and we can do a quick Q&A at the end. So, okay, I think I've asked that. So you said that anyone can channel this information.
because it's within you.
Yeah.
the great thing about light language is it takes the ego out. So once you've been activated, it comes from within. It's all your like heart source energy, your heart. A lot of mine comes like when I speak it, it really is very heart centered.
Yeah.
Like I feel, you could literally feel your heart, just your heart chakra go, or sometimes your throat. It depends on what you're doing. I get a chance to do a really amazing chakra clearing, and it clears those chakras.
Wow.
With my two mentors of we did a live practice. And she was like, I really would like to just cleanse everybody's chakras. And it was amazing. Like I spoke 5 different dialects. You know, it's very, you know, I was speaking Celtic Druid. I was speaking my shaman. I was speaking Gaia, Mother Gaia, which is really cool, especially for the root.
Yeah.
You know, I spoke Lemurian. I can, you know, there's blue avian. There's a whole bunch of ETs that'll come through for certain things at a higher pitch and vibration that will just totally cleanse the chakra right through. So,
love it. So how do you know what the dialect is and what's coming through? I think you said it comes up as words.
Yeah. It not like words like you and I speak on Earth. Yeah. More like tones and like frequencies. So a lot of the ETs will have really high pitch, especially if they're high vibrational. So it actually will sound like a frequency.
Yeah.
Whereas like the shaman is more like earth and like ancient ancestral. So it kind of sounds like you're chanting some type of like native tongue. Wow. And those frequencies all do different things. And there's different, like if you speak a really deep, low frequency, more likely it's it's targeting an area that needs release. So it's going to break up that stuck energy. Yeah. And then it gets higher and then it breaks it away. So it's really neat how that happens.
So do you just innately know what you're speaking?
That takes practice. The more you speak it and the more you have to really learn to tune into the frequency. That was really hard for me because I didn't know who was coming through. Like the shaman, I kind of figured out was shaman because to me it felt like it. And every time I spoke it, I could see my higher self or I could see some type of medicine man or woman. Yeah. And kind of going through there. So, and I would, you know, so to me, I always felt native and I thought that was the only one I'd be able to speak. So, and then things started coming through like last week, actually this week, Lemurian really came through heavy for me. And I knew it was Lemurian. And that was probably one of the first times I knew definitely it was Lemurian. Oh. Lemurian. Yeah. Which was really, really neat. Beautiful. Yeah. So you really, that's something that just kind of, that takes time because you really have to kind of learn. And the more you speak it, they really recommend that you do it several times a day and speak it and everything. So you'll get a gist of what, and you will feel more than likely a lot of the times when you start speaking it, even though you don't know what they're saying, you feel it somewhere in your body. Like you'll feel it start cleansing your throat. You'll feel it start cleansing, you know, your solar plexus or your heart, or it'll just expand and you know that something's going on in there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. How beautiful. Okay, so if someone did want to start channeling this light language, what would you recommend that they do?
I recommend that they get an activation with a light language activator. I don't feel like mine was unique because I was activated by my teachers Dee and Deborah, but I also felt like because of her video, I was like doubly activated. Wow. Some people are just naturally activated, but I didn't know much about it until they, you know, they really kind of like drew everything out. So I do recommend being activated by somebody who is a light language activator.
And that's what you are, right?
That is what I am. Yes. Yeah. Also researching it. If this is something I did too. YouTube has a plethora of light language people. And just listening and just getting, if they want to, before they become activated, just listening to it and see where they're sensing it. Yeah. Totally. And just kind of going from there.
Yeah. I've
Yeah.
been YouTubing light language for probably nearly 2 years now. I just love the sound. It's so
Yes,
beautiful.
it is. And it's always interesting, the vibrations you pick up off from them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I listen to a lot of Joseph Bradley.
Mm-hmm.
He's a good one. He does a lot of like native, his voice is just so booming. Like I remember I did one and I literally could feel like my body was like vibrating, and I definitely felt like it was like breaking up the blocks, and I was like,
Yeah.
holy cow.
So Joseph Bradley.
Joseph Bradley is one of them. The other one is a lady out of Arizona named Jamie Pierce. She's good.
Yes.
Yes, I love her. She does a lot of Lemurian.
Yes.
And yes.
Yes, I've watched
And
some of her transmissions at Mount Shasta, channeling the Lemurians.
yeah.
Very beautiful. And she has a lot of body sort of language that goes on.
Yes. So that's actually light language as well.
Yeah.
And my daughter actually started, like, she doesn't actually verbally speak light language, but she will do like different, if I'm doing light language, she'll sit next to me and she'll just start, it's like sign language almost.
Oh, goosebumps.
Yes.
That's
and so I feel like
funny.
she kind of was activated because she was in on some of the course that I was. So I feel like she was kind of activated.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And children being born today, they're so open.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. I mean, I don't have her doing, but she's doing card readings. She's doing, and she's pretty, for a 12-year-old, she's pretty spot on, which blows me away. Cause I'm like, what are you going to say to me? She's like, let's do a card reading on you. And then she does one. And I'm always like, oh, that was quite spot on.
Oh, okay. We've got some comments here. Let me just see if
Okay.
there's any questions. Hello, Angel. Hello, Alison. Hello, Cami. Hello, Clarissa. Clarissa wants to know, why do I feel so drained all the time? It's exhausting. So just quickly on that, Clarissa, it is very common for sensitives and empaths to feel completely drained and fatigued if you need a regular energy protection practice going on. Yeah. So have you experienced this yourself, Renee? I know I have.
I definitely, being empathic and doing light language, I do have to say, since I do bubble up, I do have a routine that I do, but I actually am not as drained now doing light language.
Beautiful.
I think the light language has helped me actually strengthen my my protections for my empathic abilities. Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. So Clarissa, it would be interesting to know, let us know if you have a practice around that, around protecting your energy. Do you regularly clear your space and things like that? I also, this is a 3-part thing for me, is clearing the energy, protecting my energy, and also calling my energy back.
I would say that's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Calling energy back, because you never know where it's going to go.
Yes. Especially if you're out around people and it's overwhelming. Yeah, you can leave your energy behind. Then when you come home, you're feeling absolutely exhausted, like you need to sleep for a few hours. So let us know, Clarissa, if you have any more questions around that. Cami, I can see Cami has answered that. You need grounding, hun. Grounding is a big one too, and I myself still struggle with this today, living up here. I think you and I were talking about this the other day, Renee. When you're a bit sensitive or more spiritually orientated and you live up here, it feels like you're living in like this fairyland, and we really have to consciously bring our energy down, and grounding is the best way for that.
Yes. Yeah.
Lisa, hi Renee and Sarah. Would you say it's something you can't control? I'd love to know more about this. It seems familiar to me.
If the guides really want you to get a message out, sometimes it's really crazy, because it feels like a lump in my throat, and then sometimes it'll just like pop out.
Wow.
But other times, majority of the time, I feel like if you speak it, like I end up speaking it in the morning,
Okay.
like I said, on the way to work, and then on the way home, or sometimes at night, it'll come through in a transmission, and then I'm usually fine.
Yeah.
Like I said, if there's a message they really want to get across for somebody, then you know it's for somebody, and just speak it.
So would you say that's not a negative experience?
It's not a negative experience. I mean, you have to really, and this is something I still struggle with, is just kind of like let it go, let it fly sometimes, like in public, and not care.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's a struggle for most, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I feel I'm kind of getting over that now as I'm stepping more into it and knowing like this is what I want to do.
Awesome.
So yeah, I feel like there are some aspects you can control and some aspects you can't, but there is nothing, it's not going to hurt you. It's not negative in any way.
Yeah.
It's quite beautiful.
It is. And that's why I've been so drawn to it myself.
Yeah.
So Nicole says, this is the first time I've heard of light language. Can you show us what it sounds like? So yes, Nicole, I believe Renee is going to be taking us through a transmission today, which is really
exciting. I think it's actually going to be a couple, because I do feel a galactic.
awesome.
I'm feeling a lot of pressure on my head coming down. But the shaman definitely wants to come in first.
Oh, cool.
Ooh, it's getting strong. So now that she asked that,
yes,
it's like, okay. So all I ask is that people just kind of close their eyes and just kind of feel into that. Right. And then let me know what you feel, and we'll go from there.
Okay.
Mahi akai hoshine akai huhitaka. Taki o kati o kana ishni o ke o kana u e hahi o kahia kashna hukti eka. Hi o karhu akashna o kia na hia na ka u kututia karai. Karai o na ka u akaru shnaki ala krutu kutu karu. Karu atatu akarashni akanakia harukti akanapa. Pani akano huele akata shna hui anakapati. Patati one hachi o nakariotke ki. Kira one kia kuru shnekia la hi. Hi o heonaka u. E shne o kanahi. Ue naka luhushna kahahita ti. Tatio naka uanaka ta. Kata hashna u. Ue kanahi akaha. Huakari o karatu. Karatu ashnakia karatio nakata ashnaha. Anahia kanahashna. Anaha. Anahia nakia shnakia la hunika laki. Unekara huna hani hana huna shnakia katatio nakata. Ia nakahone. Huakahia karo ishna. Shnahia naka.
That was amazing.
Yeah, and that was a beautiful one, because this was like I said, that was my mother tongue shaman, and she was basically saying that you really just need to look deep in yourself to know who you truly are, and don't be afraid. This is loving energy to help people move to where they need to be, into their purpose, or into where they should be in life. And I kind of felt it, like it started in the heart, and then she went to the throat chakra, went up to the crown chakra, and then I felt a lot of solar plexus release.
Yeah, beautiful.
So that was, she was like, don't be afraid. This is when you were in your different lifetimes, this is how people communicated. This is natural.
Yes, and I really sensed that she was like giving a speech to everyone on the call about her earthly secrets, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And my heart definitely has expanded and it feels really beautiful, and my feet feel like they're sort of vibrating a little, like, yeah.
It's so wonderful how it, you know, everybody kind of gets a little, like I get a lot of heart and then I'm getting a lot of sacral right now.
Yeah.
Which is, so it's good.
Oh, how beautiful is that? So for those of you that got to listen to that, please let us know how that felt for you. Did you get a sense of what that was about, or did you have feelings in your body? Do let us know. Lisa said she definitely felt it in her solar plexus and her cry.
Yeah. And that's a lot, like, and that's a release. So when you speak this light language, I am hoping because I do Reiki, I'm a Reiki practitioner, I'm going to open up time and space. And I've been doing this with long distance Reiki for my parents even.
Cool.
And it's amazing. I found that if I open up time and space and send the light language after all the symbols and just kind of focus on the area, it's a lot faster.
Awesome.
And it releases a lot better. But it does. This is the beautiful thing about light language that I have found is it releases and heals. It's very healing. And like I said, I want to say the word gentle, but sometimes it's not gentle.
Yeah. Even though it sounds so gentle.
Yeah. Especially if you have a lot of stuck stuff. So it's not, healing is not beautiful, but it's beautiful.
I absolutely agree with that. Yes.
Yeah. The frequency. Yes, Clarissa, it definitely does. It raises your vibration. And when you raise your vibration like that, you open yourself up to so much around you. You know, I've been an empathic person my whole life, knowing like where to step. And I would say my abilities are coming even stronger because of light language, which is amazing. Oh, that's awesome, Allison.
Wow, yes. So
Yes,
Allison's been speaking since she was 7.
And you know what's funny, Allison, is I have been having like not past life dreams, this life dreams of when I was little, I used to speak a lot of gibberish.
Yeah.
So now I'm kind of recognizing that was possibly light language.
Yeah.
And when I mentioned it to my mentor, she said she thought that was correct. Yeah. So I do have another transmission coming through that is more galactic.
Oh, cool.
Galactic is a little different. It's very high pitch. Galactic, every one of them can send you light codes, but a lot of light codes come from the galactic. In my sense, and so it sounds very, very different. It can be a little high pitched, and it sounds like I am not. It depends, like who. Sometimes they come in like really low, like and just like different like sounds.
Yeah.
And a lot of them can be really, really high pitched. And it's like, what is she really doing that? Like that was really took me a lot to kind of get over to really just let it flow.
Yes, it can all sound so different.
Yeah.
Each transmission, yes.
Yeah. And so actually what I'm hearing, this is the Pleiadians.
Oh.
So yeah. So and it's important that everybody know that not everybody's dialect is the same. So what comes out for me as Palladian or Lemurian does not sound the same as somebody else's. Yeah. And that really threw me for a loop, especially with the English language, because everybody has to say things the same. Yeah. You know what I mean? That it was just, I'm like, how come mine doesn't sound like hers? And they're like, they're not going to. And you just have to trust that it is your own. I love that, Allison.
Yeah.
Constantly talking. Okay, so
we'll close our eyes.
Yes. So have everybody close your eyes, and then let's see what the Pleiadians have to say. Ma'i akatu ai acha u ata u ka ita kakakatu. Ma'i na anu ja adi aka iti ona au u ina aku u kira kataka. Maini ana atiti atiti otika atiti titi atuta ataka 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 tika ataka tika tukutaka tika 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 tukutaka tika taka 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 tukutaka tika 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 ataka tika 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 atuka ataka kiti ataka tukutika kiki ataka tukutu akata u anama meina aka aku ataka ataka itika a u. Mi ana u ata u ata u ata u ata 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 u anaka u ana ma na na ata uta. That was very sorry. That was woo.
I feel the heat myself.
Yes, glad. Very third eye. I don't know if everybody else was feeling that. My third eye was burning quite a bit. And they just want people to know, again, they're there. And I believe I just gave people some light codes.
I could feel it like coming into my face. My face was vibrating. I feel hot as hell, but it was almost like images were being inserted into my face.
I'm pretty sure I just brought in some light codes for people to kind of start remembering. It's to remember like where we all come from. Because we're not just of this life. We're of many, 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 many different lives. And, you know, through past life stuff, you can definitely figure out who you are. Yeah. But it's in the Pleiades, it wasn't even the Pleiadian one that sounded familiar to me the first time. It was a Syrian one, which I don't speak very often, but I have a guide who's Syrian. But lately it's, you know, the Lemurians and the Pleiades that come through. So I think everybody on this call just got some light codes. So if you start speaking it or feel the urge to start speaking it, definitely go ahead. If you don't know what you're saying, you're okay.
I still feel really quite hot from that.
Well, it's such a high vibration.
Yeah.
That is, I know, it kind of feels, you know what I mean by menopause.
Oh, that was amazing. And I really stand for that whole concept of we are never alone. We're not just here as humans. We've lived before, whether it's on Earth or in the stars, you know, and we need not ever feel alone, even though we can feel so alone as humans. We were talking about that the other day too.
Yes, we were. Yeah, last week was rough with the whole, with this energy that opened up around Christmas. You know, I finally like got a sense of like that I definitely was not from here.
Yeah.
And I missed home and that was a lot of release and not liking this lifetime, because especially this past year for me has been really hard, but it's been, you know, realizing that there are lessons that are to be learned and stuff. So we choose to be here.
We do.
For these lessons. So, yeah.
Yes, I'm a big advocate for that too. We can fall into that victim mentality so easily, but we can just as easily take our power back by knowing that we did choose this experience and the experiences that we have been through in life.
Yeah.
And that facilitates our soul growth. So Jane said she felt it in her crown, her heart, and that explains hearing about a connection to where animals come from. Yes, so Jane's a beautiful soul. She is an animal healer and communicator.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Clarissa said, my throat got very itchy and felt like vomiting. What does that mean?
That means that at some point you're probably like your body reacted to that. I get that whole, like sometimes when light language comes in, I get like dry heaving, like if it's too much energy coming in all at once. So Clarissa, I would just kind of call those energies in sometimes. Like you might not know, what I had to do was when I was meditating, call in the Syrians, call in the Lemurians, call in the Pleiadians, and just kind of get used to their energy. And you can feel it like descend. It's the weirdest thing ever. It's the greatest, but when you're first starting out, you're like, what is this? It's almost like tickling, like pins and needles coming down. And when you get used to that, that will go away. It also was opening your throat chakra. Usually if it's itchy like that, or it goes dry, at some point, you'll probably start speaking it. And it subsides after a while. You're right, Allison. And so, yeah, it does. I don't usually have very rarely, unless I get a super high. There was one woman in the course, I forgot where she was. They traced it back. It was some galaxy, but it was like so high pitched that when she spoke it, like last week, I started doing the whole thing, and I was like, oh. So I had to really kind of tune in and really get that my vibration up. And then once I got that vibration up, and now that I've been there, I don't have those reactions anymore.
Yes. Yeah, I do understand that. When I first started meditating and calling in energies, I didn't know that was a symptom of that. And I used to feel the same. But like Alison and you said, that has subsided over the years.
Yes.
So Lisa said she felt like she was in a tunnel with flashes of light. I was traveling very fast. Definitely the third eye.
Yeah, that was a lot of third eye right there.
Yeah, beautiful.
For me, yeah.
Jane said, thank you for such a lovely introduction. Mm-hmm. Oh, my pleasure. Yeah. So for you guys that absolutely this resonated with, or you want to know more, you've probably seen I've been posting a lot about Ascension School, specifically this month, because it is at a lower price. I'll pop it in the links. I'll pop a link in the comments when I'm finished. And Renee is actually going to come into Ascension School once a month and do whatever transmission most needs to come through at that time, which is super exciting.
Yeah, I'm so excited. Thank you for that.
Thank you. Yes. Okay, so does anyone else have any other questions before we wrap it up? I'll just go and see if I missed anything. Jane said it sounds so familiar. It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The shaman, that's how I felt. Your shaman guide, that really felt like home. Like, that was so beautiful. Okay. Clarissa said it felt like her body was getting healed of an illness. That makes sense.
That's the beautiful thing about light language. It's just, it just goes right in, and does what it needs to release. Yeah.
How gorgeous.
Yeah. There are times where I'm meditating, and here's a good one. Last night I was journeying with, I believe, my higher self, and I ended up in front of a bonfire in the middle of nowhere. I was lying on dirt, and we were both talking in light language. Like we were having a conversation in light language, and then she laid me down, and then she like stuck her hand in my sacral chakra and stirred it up.
Wow.
And then stuck her hand in my root chakra, and she was like, there, now the stuff will come up and you will have a lot of releasing to do. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, she said it in light language and I understood. And that was a time where my partner, like, I sat up in bed and I just had like a whole conversation. Like, and he was just like, he goes, it doesn't bother me now, but before it used to be a little concerning. But yeah. And my higher self comes in a lot when I'm meditating and I feel blocked, and they'll do a whole chakra, like, I don't want to say ceremony, but open it up and like with the light language and dig stuff out. So it's I feel light language has been very beneficial. Yeah. I love my channeling. I love, being able to talk to different beings. Yeah. And everything, and doing Reiki on other people and doing Reiki on myself. But I just feel like this is just one more modality I'll be able to mold.
Absolutely. Yeah. So where can everyone find you? Do you have just a personal page, or do you have a business page or a group?
So I have a business page on Facebook, and it's called Elemental Reiki and Energy Healing. And it's public, so you can go in. If people want to be activated for light language, I can do over Zoom.
Awesome.
It's great. Yeah, and I do have appointments that they can book for that.
Right.
I do work full time, and I am in the United States. So, but if you message me, and you can also like me as Renee Rogers Atkins, and message me through there if you don't find Elemental Reiki. And if people are truly wanting to do this, then we can have sessions with that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
How exciting. Okay, well, thank you. There's just one more question Jane's asked. Is it the same as connecting with crystals?
I actually don't know too much about that.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a million crystals.
Mm.
And every day my guides tell me which one to carry with me.
Yeah.
But I don't, I'm not really sure about connecting
Yeah.
with the crystal aspects of things. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm not quite that sure either, but I do know crystals have their own, they're almost sentient and have their own vibrations and frequencies. So that might be something we can look into after the call.
Yeah. That would be really neat to look into that.
Yeah. So once again, if you would like to see more of Renee, Renee can pop her links in the comments. If you would like to come into Ascension School while it is on special at $50 off, I will pop those links in the comments, and Renee will be in once a month giving us beautiful transmissions. And I just thank you so much again. This was amazing.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. It felt amazing to be on, and thank you for the invite, and thank you for everybody who watched. Hopefully, if you have any questions, don't be afraid to contact me.
Yeah.
I'll put my name on here, and then I'll put my business as well.
Great. Thank you, Renee.
Thank you.
Awesome. Okay, well, ta-da, everyone, and I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day, and sending you many blessings.
Yes. Bye, guys.
Bye.